How are some of my favorite authors and their books going? Let's figure them out. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got for you a video that is kind of based off of a concept of another video that we just filmed recently, which was kind of like an update of how that video was an update of how my 5-star predictions have gone so far this year. We'll have that linked up here because that is out and ready. This one is my favorite authors and my favorite books by that author. Seeing if some have changed, adding a few more authors to the list, and just kind of reevaluating my favorite authors so far and my favorite books by them. So that video we will have linked over here if you want to take a look at that, because that's a pretty cool video and there has been a few changes, and figured I'd kind of go over it now that it's been like half a year since we've posted that video. So also kind of add a couple more authors because now I've read a little bit more from them. The guidelines were simple. I had to have read at least 2 books from the author and obviously liked one of them enough to put them on this list. So I've got some more authors and there's an update on the list. So let's go over the list, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get started. Alright, so I got a list in front of me of the books that we talked about in the first video. And kind of just go off of, is that still my favorite book by that author? And then, like I said, I'm going to add 3 more authors to the list. Alright, the first author is Keelan Patrick Burke, and the book is Sour Candy. So I have read more books by Keelan Patrick Burke since I have done this video. I'm up to, I think, 5, and since that one, it's 4, because that was the very first one I read. And I would say Sour Candy is still my favorite book by him, so that is still the same. Next one is Joe Hill with Nosferatu. I read Strange Weather after that one, and Nosferatu is still by far a better book than the other one I've read. So that has not changed. However, I do intend to read The Fireman soon, and that might give it a run for its money. You never know. The next one is Riley Sager and Home Before Dark. That has changed to Survive the Night. Obviously, that is a book that came out this past year that was not released at the time of this video being made, so obviously I couldn't read it. But I have read the book now, and I think that Survive the Night is better than Home Before Dark. So there you have the first change with Riley Sager and Survive the Night. Next one up is Jennifer McMahon and The Winter People, and that is another book that has not changed. I have read 3 books by her now, and The Winter People is still by far the best one. The Drowning Kind and Hannah Beast, which is like a short story Audible thing. I think it's like an Audible exclusive. But that was a really good story too. But The Winter People just by far is a way better book than the other 2 are, so that one has stayed the same. It hasn't changed. The next one is Grady Hendrix and My Best Friend's Exorcism. That I don't really ever see being taken down in the Grady Hendrix category. We actually just did a Grady Hendrix book ranking video, which we'll have linked up here if you want to take a look at that. I know Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires would be the one that would give My Best Friend's Exorcism a run for its money, but My Best Friend's Exorcism is just such a good book. So let's move on to the next one now. Nick Cutter, The Troop. That has not changed at all. I know I still need to read Little Heaven, but The Deep was just not as good. It didn't work as well for me. So I would definitely still say The Troop is by far his best book that has been written so far, and it's definitely very graphic and very gruesome. So I would say Nick Cutter, The Troop is still my top book from him. The next one is Stephen King and It. So I had plans for this to kind of do some reevaluation of my top ranked King books and see where they truly fall, because it's been a while since I have read them. Between It, The Shining, Pet Sematary, kind of rereading a couple of them and seeing if it still falls as the order it's in. But as of right now, It is still my all-time favorite Stephen King book. Suzanne Collins, Catching Fire. So I've read all 3 of the Hunger Game books. Yes, I am aware that there is a 4th one, so the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or whatever, which is like a prequel to the whole thing. It follows President Snow's journey through the Hunger Games. I have not read that one yet still. So out of the 3 I have read, Catching Fire is still my favorite. Mockingjay is just too depressing, and I think, well, there was like one thing that was really depressing for me, and I just couldn't get over it, and so the second one I think is better. The first one, it's a good introduction to the series, but I think Catching Fire is just so much better because it introduces more characters into the series, and it's just an overall better book to me, so I would say Catching Fire is the best one in that series by Suzanne Collins. Next one up is Josh Malerman and Bird Box. I've read a couple books by him now. Mallory, Goblin, House at the Bottom of a Lake, which that one was a mess. I didn't really enjoy that one. But I would for sure say that Bird Box is still my all-time favorite by him so far. Mallory and Goblin are pretty close, but I would still say Bird Box is by far the best one that I have read by him so far. Next one up is Ruth Ware and The Turn of the Key. I think I have also read, I've got a vague idea of the one I read. I remember the plot of it, but I can't remember the title. One by One. Because I had a streak of a bunch of thrillers where they all kind of sounded like the same, where it's like people are trapped at a resort and something is picking them off one by one or something like that. So The Turn of the Key, I think, is still my all-time favorite Ruth Ware book. It's just really good. It's a solid story, and I enjoy the characters in it. It's just a really good story. So those are the authors from the first video, and as you heard, there is one change, and that's Riley Sager's. But let me add 3 more authors to the list. Alright, so for those of you who watch my videos, you guys know some of my all-time favorite authors and a couple surprise ones, and a lot of you guys are probably saying, Zach, where's this person on the list? Well, at the time, I had not read more than 2 books by the author. Being added to the list is Anya Alborn, and my favorite book by her has been Brother. So this book is very solid. It's got a lot of creepy vibes to it, not like horror, but just the atmosphere is creepy. The whole concept of the book is pretty creepy. And this kid gets taken when he's younger. He gets raised by this hillbilly-ish kind of family, and the brother and him are kind of it's like a murdering family. They murder people, and the one who's gets taken is I feel like I don't belong. I don't want to be doing this stuff, and it's a really solid story, and the ending, it still gets me. It's just so it's got such a dark turn in it, and it's so good. I absolutely love this book. I have read probably 4 or 5 other Anya Alborns so far, and Brother is just so good. I can't top it. A close follow-up would probably be The Shuddering, but Brother is just so good. So there you have Anya Alborn on the list now. Alright, another surprise author that not a lot of people I think really know about that is going to be on my list now is Darcy Coates. And my favorite book by her so far has been The Fulcroft Ghosts. So this is about... this is the 4th Darcy Coates book I've read. I've read 4 of them, and this, I think, is the second one I ended up reading, and it got 5 stars. It was a really solid story. It was really creepy. I do have a 5th one coming out soon. Not coming out soon. I'm not writing these books. I have a 5th book that I am going to be reading soon, and it'll be in a video coming out soon. Obviously, with a recent reads, that's the plan. This book was really solid. It's about a brother and sister who their mom gets into a car accident and they have to be looked after by their grandparents, and a lot of weird things happen at the grandparents' house. You find out the truth about what is actually going on with the grandparents, and it's really creepy and eerie. Also, the cover looks really cool. Darcy Coates has got like all the spines are the exact same except for like obviously the title and then like a little picture from the front. But like all the covers look really cool. They're all in like unison. They're really cool looking. But yeah, she also has another book coming out in a few months called The Haunting of Lee Harker. Obviously, you got to add that to my collection. So hopefully the cover looks the same as the others. Otherwise, it's gonna be why. But The Fullcroft Ghosts by Darcy Coates is, well, the book by Darcy Coates that I think is the best so far. Alright, the last author I'm adding is Alex Michaelides. Problem that I ran into here is I could not decide between the two books that he has written so far. So, since it's my video, I'm putting both books in there. Fight me. So, The Silent Patient and The Maidens, if I can pick it up. The Silent Patient and The Maidens are both, I can't pick between either book. The plot twist in this book is amazing, and the plot twist in this book is amazing. I can't decide between both books. So maybe if he writes a third one, maybe try and outdo both of these so then I can pick just one book. But as of right now, it's impossible to pick between either book. So both of them are making the list. This is about a psychiatrist guy who is trying to figure out why this one patient is silent all the time, and finds that because the patient is accused of murdering her husband. Again, the plot twist, and you find out what actually happens. It is phenomenal. And that in The Maidens, a woman goes back to this college and this university to kind of find out that, you know, she's trying to protect her niece because some murders are going on campus, and everyone's kind of assuming it's the professor because he's being weird and he does after-school activities with the girls, and it's really weird. But when you find out the plot twist in this book, it's really amazing and super cool too. And so I couldn't pick one of them to put on this list. So both of them are on the list. Maybe when he writes a third one, he can outdo himself with both of these books, and then I can put that one on the list. But as of right now, Alex Michaelides is on the list with both of his books. Alright guys, so that was an update to my favorite authors and their favorite books. And again, I'm always looking for more authors to add to the list, and you know, maybe at the end of the year I'll have like a part 3 or who knows. But let me know your favorite authors down below and your favorite books by that author. Make sure you let me know that in the comments as well. But yeah, otherwise don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.